Hey, welcome to the November edition of the How to Podcast series. What are we doing this month? We're doing an episode every single day for the month of November. Yeah, that's a lot of podcast episodes, Dave. And what I want to do is I want to shine a light on amazing podcasters who are doing great things in podcasting. I want you to meet some of my friends. Now, these are friends that I've met through this podcast. These are friends that I've met by being on their show. These are friends that have been at our meetups. These are friends who I cherish and I think are people that you need to know. The best way to grow podcasting is word of mouth marketing, telling people about people's shows. That's what this is all about for the month of November. It's all word of mouth. You're going to hear from them come on and talk about their podcast. You're going to hear clips from shows. You'll have links to go follow these amazing people. And I want to give you a variety of different amazing podcasters for you to fall in love with. And you found the right spot. This is November. It's all about the listeners. It's all about you. And I want to shine a light on some amazing people. Are you ready? Okay. Let's jump into this because I think you're going to love this. And I'm glad you're here. And what I can't wait for is the day when you and I get to interact. I can't wait for us to meet each other at our meetups, online, through the link in the notes attached to this episode, where you and I can meet each other and I can be there in your corner to support you. I would love to do that. So here's another example of one of my friends at their show, and I want you to fall in love with them just as much as I have. Okay? Welcome to the How to Podcast series. It's November. It's National Podcast Post Month. It's 30 episodes in 30 days, and I want you to meet some of my favorite people in this world called podcasting. It's all about them. It's not about me. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. Check out one of my friends. You ready? You ready? Okay, here we go. Okay, so two guys get together and do a podcast, but not only are they podcasters, but they are the key people behind Captivate.fm, where 4 or 5 of my podcasts are now hosted. It's a podcast host, so you give them your podcast and they to help you distribute it to all the players. And so Captivate.fm, it's in the UK. These guys are amazing, treat you really well. And if you're a podcaster like me with multiple shows, you can have multiple podcasts on one plan. Other hosting sites don't do this, by the way. Multiple podcasts on one plan. And each of the podcasts has its own feed, meaning you won't be having, your listeners won't have to pick through, sometimes I hear this podcast, sometimes I hear this podcast. They're totally separate. So they're like separate children. They're all unique and different. You can have them all in one plan. It's amazing. So it's Mark Asquith and Danny Brown. Mark's in the UK. Danny's from Scotland, as you'll hear when you hear his voice. But Danny now lives in Canada, not too far from me. And I got to meet Danny Brown, the one and only Danny Brown, in Calgary, Alberta at Pod Summit. We grabbed a couple minutes together. The guy is a sweetheart of a man. He is a superhuman. I'm a big fan. And to have him come over and sit down with me and have a couple minutes together, it was a joy for me. And he called me out during a live taping of the In and Around podcasting at the summit, at Pod Summit. It was really kind of fun. So my wife leaned over, slapped me on the arm, and she's like, yeah, big time. Yeah, because Danny Brown said my name. So that was so cool. Anyway, so this is a podcast I listen to because I'm a Captivate.fm customer. I love what they do, the great support. They have so many tools they put out for podcasters. They don't just create a platform and then just sit back and collect your money. They want to work hard for you and make your podcasting journey better. In and Around Podcasting is the name of the show that they do. And it is loosely based on Captivate. They talked about Captivate, but they're more focused on you as a podcaster. So if you want to learn about podcasting, they do get nerdy. Well, because we can all get nerdy sometimes. They do get a little bit nerdy on the show, which I appreciate, but they always bring it back to you, the independent podcaster. not the podcaster with like 60 people on staff. You, the one that podcasts on your own and you do everything yourself. They focus on you, which I really appreciate. So this is another podcast about podcasting, as if there isn't enough, right? This one I love because of the people. You come for the topic, you stay for the host. This is a great example for me. I come for the topic, podcasting, but I stay for the host, Mark Asquith and Danny Brown, two superhumans in podcasting. Big fan, and I want you to hear their show and connect with them. So whether you're a Captivate user or not, you don't have to be a Captivate user. You should be. You don't have to be a Captivate user to listen to the show, but I would strongly suggest you take a look at Captivate.fm when you're thinking about where do I want to host my show, or I'm not getting the service that I was hoping to get with the host I have. You can move everything. Keep your audience in place. Your audience will have no idea you moved. You move all of your files, all of your stuff over to Captivate.fm and go to a better hosting site, right? Some of these hosting sites are really old and tired. You know, they're just kind of, there's a lot of cobwebs and stuff. And Captivate's shiny, new, and fast. I love them. So anyway, here's In and Around Podcasting. Mark Asquith and Danny Brown, two superhumans. Here's a little taste of the show, and I think you'll fall in love with it. I did. It's a great show. Here we go.
And now, on with the show.
Tired of podcast industry podcasts making you feel like you're on the outside? As an indie podcaster or podcast enthusiast, it's time you had your say. Welcome to In and Around...
Cut! Hey, mate. Quick question. What's that music all about? I use that for everything. Come on. We talked about this. If we're gonna do an industry show, we've got to do it right.
Okay. What about this? Tired of podcast industry podcasts making you feel like you're on the outside?
Seriously? Come on. You sound like a podcast intro from 2011.
What?
Okay, be honest. Did you even read the brief? You know what? Let's just leave that. Just leave, please. I'll do this. I'll do it. Well, at least that wasn't awkward. Now, where did I put that entire 72-piece band? Oh, there you are. 2, 3, 4.
It's not just for the geeks and OGs. This show's for those in and around podcasting.
Are you tired of podcast industry podcasts making you feel like you're on the outside? Welcome to In and Around Podcasting, the inclusive podcast industry show where experts and industry insiders collaborate with real-life podcast enthusiasts to highlight powerful podcasting perspectives. I'm Mark Asquith, and you know, I love podcasting. But most industry podcasts are run by insiders with so much experience that, at times, their perspectives can feel a little jaded. And the view from the top, well, it doesn't always help. Podcasting belongs to all of us, so wouldn't it be refreshing to hear how developments in the industry really affect your show and to have a place where every opinion is valuable? I'm on a mission to make the podcast industry more accessible and to facilitate conversations that help all podcasters, regardless of experience or background. Because podcasting is not just for the geeks and the OGs. And this show is for everyone in and around podcasting. Join me and a wonderful range of industry insiders and podcast enthusiast co-hosts every Tuesday and listen for free in your podcast app of choice. And remember, if you know anyone who might enjoy the show, send them to inandaroundpodcasting.com.
I could have done that, you know.
I know you could.
So Mark Asquith and Danny Brown, two amazing human beings, and I love listening to their show. They're great guys, great content. They keep showing up, they keep doing their thing, and I love everything that they do at Captivate.fm. So if you're interested, there's a link in the show notes. If you want to join Captivate.fm, you can use my code, which will help me make a tiny little bit of money, but it's more about you and having a quick, easy link right to Captivate. So if you're interested, it's there. Please go check it out. And as always, we're getting close to the end of our 30 episodes in 30 days. Got a few more left. And I'm excited that we can put this out for you every day in the month of November. Why, again, are we doing this, Dave? It's a lot of content. First of all, I want to feature other podcasts that you can fall in love with, because that's the most important thing. Word of mouth marketing is the best way to grow your show. So I'm trying to demonstrate that in the last 30 episodes, that's the best way to grow. And you can do this on your show. Shout out your favorite author, podcaster, musician, speaker, content creator, and do 30 in a row. And just blast it out there and shine the light of your platform on someone else. That's what we can do as podcasters. So I'm doing it for that reason. And I just want to make a podcast about someone else, not just me. So that's the idea behind the show. Podcasting is about community. And that's what we do best here at the How to Podcast series. We do community best. When you look at all of the other podcasts about podcasting, they seem to be based on one person's voice, a single voice in podcasting telling you how and how not to podcast. Here we do life in community. We bring various voices from all around the world, all different types of podcasters, so that we can learn from each other. That's how we do things different here. And I hope you see the difference, hear the difference, and feel the difference of podcasting and community, because we need more of this. And to that end, we need you. No one else can do your podcast, only you. In and around podcasting, Mark Asquith, Danny Brown, add it to your favorites, go listen, you'll fall in love with it. They're great people. And I love when they go off script and they really start talking to us, because their passion just shines through. They want you to succeed. Captivate.fm. It's a great hosting site. If you haven't heard of them, go to the website, check them out. Highly recommended. You got Dave approval on this. Stamped Dave approval. Captivate.fm. And In and Around Podcasting. A great show. And great people. So I love being a podcaster. I love meeting these great people. And I love the fact that you press play on this episode and that you're still here. That tells me that there's something here for you. And if you're like, Dave, I want to be part of this. I want to be part of this community, and I want to spend some time with you. There's a link in the show notes. It's just for you. You and I can get together and chat about your podcast, answer any questions you have. And the most important thing is we get to meet each other. So if you feel like you've been podcasting alone, you should never podcast alone. You should podcast in a group. We have a community just for you. And I, Dave, would love to be part of your community. HowToPodcast.ca is where you can find me, find our amazing community, and meet the people you've met here today on this episode. So, what are you waiting for? Stop podcasting by yourself. Reach out. I would love to talk to you. Happy National Podcast Post Month. We'll talk soon. Thank you for being part of the community, and thank you for listening to this episode. HowToPodcast.ca. Take care.